would like to show you what I built, some unusual setup here. So it's a 50cc engine kit from Amazon, but instead of putting it inside the frame, I set it up on the back. The reason for that, I don't want my pedals wider, and I have this seat because I'm riding with my daughter, and I set up foot pegs for her and a little steering wheel. Still need to be painted. I just completed it. It runs good. So I'll tell you how I did it. I started with these two 1-inch square pipes, placed them level. I used clamps, then I built those U-bolts and stuff. I removed the old seat and I built this seat from, those are knee pads, very soft. And this is how I set up a chain tensioner. This sprocket is a little too big. So the challenges I had, this pipe turned out to be too wide. I could barely mount this engine, and there is not enough room. I could barely make it work. So the sprocket should be closer. I could have placed it a little closer because it was almost touching the frame here. I had to bend. There's very little gap. I had to bend the frame out, and it's barely enough to clear this pipe here where the chain tensioner. I could have made it narrower because I went with how fat is this frame up here, and I added washers up here. I welded a couple washers. But instead, I should have grinded this pipe down to make it narrower here and make it just whatever the width of the pipe up here. That would make these two pipes closer together and made it much easier. Runs good. There you go, guys. Fun to drive. Like I said, I could go with smaller sprocket. It got lots of power. Pulls me and my daughter, two of us. I want to show you guys how I did a sprocket. I bought this adapter, and I drilled a hole, put the threads, and got a bolt on to make it tighter, and I also roughed up both surfaces and applied thread lock. But anyways, I ordered a heavy duty wheel, a mag wheel. I'll show you in the next videos, and I'm gonna throw away this engine and I'm gonna put a bigger one. It's more compact, 79cc, this Predator, kinda. I was able to put torque converter on it. So I figured if this torque converter is good enough for go-karts, it will push the bike pretty easy. So I don't have to pedal at all. It's pretty lightweight. And how I was able to do a torque converter, I used this adapter from States. I ordered it from States. So I believe it changes your shaft from 5/8 to 1 inch. and I put a 1-inch driver pulley on it. So this is gonna be a little beast. I'll fire it up for you boys. Want to show you guys this engine without cover. I was surprised it's got aluminum flywheel. Usually they're made from plastic. And here's a couple magnets for ignition. This must be ignition coil. And what's interesting, the cylinder head and the cylinder are together here, like one thing. And from what I heard, there is like a metal sleeve inside the cylinder, a steel sleeve or whatever, it's like a cast iron sleeve that pressed in, that makes it go for a long time, kind of thing. And what else I wanted to mention? These bolts, they come soft, Chinese bolts, so I went to specialized store and got the strong bolts, like 10 diametric, and I also replaced these bolts for exhaust muffler with stronger ones. They came with 8 and they got bent. They were pretty soft, so I put 12 in, gauge 12. What happened yesterday? I went for a ride, and my idle kind of was too slow, and it started dying. So what I did, I didn't touch the choke. I tried to give it a little bit of gas, and at the same time pulled the cord. And when it started, I must have gave it too much gas, so it went on a wheelie, it ran away from me and started catching the ground with a muffler, and ripped off the muffler and bent the tank. So that was a learning curve. I didn't expect that. Also about this carburetor, when the engine came in a box, I was looking, there is one hose here and another hose here and this inlet, so I didn't know where to connect the fuel, but that's what it is. The fuel goes in here. This one for overflow. I never seen it overflow, so. And the one at the bottom to drain the fuel from the carburetor. There is a little like screwdriver kind of valve that you can open and it drains. If there is air for the first start, you could open it and drain the fuel a little bit to fill it up, to let the air out maybe. So that's it. Now see, when it fell, this thing cracked. I just glued it together. Hopefully it will hold. If not, I have to find where to order one. And that's a pull start, how it works. Also, it was like this. I'm thinking to turn it up. Try put it like this, so I can pull start it while I'm sitting on a seat, or even when I'm rolling down the street. See if it works. Alright, now I'm gonna take it, put it together and go for a ride. here, boys. I got a magnesium or aluminum tire, wheel, I mean. It says CDH Power USA. I don't know if it's made in USA, but no, made in China. But what's interesting about it, it's the only rim of this kind that I could find that can actually use both types of brakes, rim brake, and you can mount disc brakes here too.